What up, Internet? Evan, Exigent Defense. You know me. I have no idea who you are because it's a one-way conversation with the Internet. You got Omar, Shark
Hello.
Coast Tactical, Jared, B&T.
How's it going?
So I'm going to call him Devil Dog all throughout this because former Marine, problem solver. Hey, did a little straight up the middle. He will knock it out. So came down, delivered you guys some cans, and drove through the night because we're trying to beat that December 24th BS ATF shutdown and want to make sure you guys had some cans while we're down here. B&T's location or previous location here in Tampa. B&T is cool enough to let us hang out, and obviously the Fireteam 556 is a collaboration with Big Swiss. So what better way just to talk about that can and kind of some of the hype and popularity that's going on with it right now. So Omar, I'm gonna kick it over to you because you shot the can, and even though you're a complete paid shill,
Absolutely.
and that check will clear here soon,
Thank you.
one day, hopefully.
$7,000.
Yep,
Right?
just it's post dated. So your take. You have shot that can on a couple different rifles. What have you thought so far?
I've got a couple shorts out now that I've said the same thing on, but genuinely, I've used to just completely disregard 5.56 cans overall, especially when it came to sound performance. I would tell people, don't worry about how it sounds because it's not going to sound good ever. And then you came out, took me shooting. I was still thinking the same thing up until the moment where I pulled the trigger, where I was just like, hello? Am I going deaf? Was it so loud that I stopped hearing things? But it's the only can to date that I can comfortably shoot all day long for a 5.56 on a fucking 10.3, no ears outdoors. And when you hear that, your immediate thought is just, okay, so where's the downside? It's either going to be fucking $2,000, it's either going to be the gassiest thing you've ever seen in your life, or whatever it may be. It's low back pressure. You got the square holes in the front.
Right,
It's
little features.
it's dirt cheap compared to everything else that's on the market. It's super quiet. I love the tone of it. You can actually shoot it, without having your ears pop outdoors, which is incredible to me. The fact that that's even possible. People were commenting on the shooting video we made. Like, it's incredible how you can get the tone to match a 300 blackout almost.
Right.
You still get the crackdown range, obviously, but from the shooter's ear, it's like the most enjoyable 5.56 I've ever shot, and it's not expensive. That's the craziest part to me. It's low back pressure, not expensive, all in canal, which I prefer. I can't say enough good things.
So to that point, a lot of people have asked. Obviously, it's a B&T collaboration. Working together on that. That has been one of the main drivers of how we were able to bring that can to market so quickly and have such high performance. What an amazing company to work with, and the fact that I'm some idiot from Etowah County, Alabama. They did not care if I was the German army or if I was just some jackass trying to bring a can to market. They treated me with the same dignity and respect, rolled out the red carpet for me. And when we came down here and tested the cans, they're like, yeah, we got our sound team, our engineers are going to be out. Da-da-da. I'm like, wait, you got a team? Like, oh, you got multiple teams? All right, cool. So the things that we were able to do with that and the speed in which B&T can innovate was astounding. So running things on flow simulators, proprietary softwares, seeing concepts and seeing the iterations and the things that I knew in my mind were going to happen, and then actually seeing it in a 3D image and be like, hey, it did happen. And then, Big Swiss being like, hey, what's going on right here? What's that? I'd be like, oh, well, that's where the air wing is, speeding up the gas flow and getting it into the helicals, and then it's turning into a siphon. And they're like, wow, you're clearly autistic. Cool, man. Like, good for you.
That was my first impression. You hit me
100
with a lot of words that I've never heard
100%.
before.
So definitely Spectrum is my cable provider and where I'm on, somewhere in there. So that is probably an undiagnosed problem, which I never told you this. I'm actually adjudicated by the state of Alabama as cognitively disabled.
You have to put that down on the 4473.
No, thankfully not. I am vocationally disabled by the state of Alabama, so they did not think I'd be able to hold a job. Yeah, seriously.
Who's laughing?
I
Who's
know, right?
laughing now?
Take that, Miss Hooper,
Exactly.
third grade teacher. That kind of pairing with B&T, the fact that they were open completely to just innovation and taking it from all directions, taking it all from all comers of like, hey, cool, you got a cool idea. Let's see if we can bring it to market. And sending things over to B&T of like, hey, I got a prototype. Let's test this. And then coming back like a week later and be like, hey, what's the production schedule? When's that going to get put up? Oh, bro, we've already made 20 versions of this. Like, really? Like, which one sounded the best? Like, all right, these sound the best. Cool, let's pull those features out and put it together. So with that can, with the Fireteam, it's obviously a matter of time before somebody else in the industry cuts it open and tries to recreate it. They're going to fail.
Really?
100%. There's about 3 glaring features in there that give a lot of the performance, and they're right dead in front of them, and they're not going to see it. All the little tweaks and all the little things that we put together, was just the evolution and getting to that point. So you might get close, but it's unlikely. My suggestion to anybody in the industry that's a suppressor manufacturer, reach out to B&T, see if they'll help you make it. So that's, I mean, the fact that they're willing to do that with an emerging brand and help bring this to market was pretty phenomenal. I did want to ask, so you shot the Fireteam on a bunch of different platforms. You know, obviously it was predicated off Daniel Defense Mark 18. The Fireteam and really the Vanish, our 5.56 cans, they were designed around SBRs. So meant to be run on short barrels, so you'll get a very different sound profile, different performance if you put it on a 20-inch versus a 10.3 versus even a 14.5. You shot it now. Which one sounds the best? What rifle platform? What barrel length? Where you at?
I might be a little biased, but shooting it on the 11.5 Mark 1 was my favorite experience overall. I'm sure there's some science that goes into it. Longer barrels probably technically decibel-wise sound better, but 11.5 was like, that was the most enjoyable shooting experience I've had with a firearm. Shooting a Mark 1 with your Fireteam on it, you can't beat it.
Just so happened to steal old Will's.
Oh, Will's, yeah. You
Mark
can
I.
tell from a distance it's his very
Right.
easily.
Well, what a fun gun. But
It is.
the 11.5 is a fascinating one because it's really one of the very best sweet spots for dwell time, for velocity, for having. I think KAK does a MIDI gas tube on theirs, and a few other companies do too.
I've got one of those. I've got a
Nice.
KAK 11.5 MIDI.
There you go. That's a very smooth shooter with
It is.
that long gas tube. But Sons of Liberty definitely hit it out of the park with this. They sent us some rifles for testing to get kinematics, bolt carrier speed, and you know when you're real excited for a Christmas present as a kid, you get down there and you open up the box, and it's kind of a letdown, like you just met your hero or something, and getting a hold of these rifles and everything, the exact fucking opposite. It was the best thing ever.
It is really good.
I know, this is a badass rifle, so I gotta give some hats off to Sons of Liberty for bringing this cool ass rifle, and you know the Fireteam seems to be pairing with it tremendously well.
And I want to clear up the air real quickly. We did a video with this that Sons posted. For half the video, it seems really gassy. And I know
Right.
you were in the comments fighting for your life, talking
know,
about
right?
cold weather and all that. Those last shots where you see a lot of gas is low light. The sun was down. The only light source we had was a big LED light literally right behind
so
us.
late in the-
And that's why you're seeing the gas. It's not visible like while you're shooting, and it's not that much gas at all. And it was
Right.
colder, after the sun went down, obviously. People are like, oh, it seems like it runs gassy. Did you watch the other half of the video during daytime where there's fucking nothing coming out of the rifle? Nothing from the ejection port, nothing from the front. Like, people were telling me, oh, that Fireteam, you're talking really good stuff about it. It seems really gassy. Like, it's that one shot where I'm standing in front of a giant LED where you see the gas. Outside of that, it is a very, very well gassed, like, rifle and can. They go together extremely well.
Q, for instance, I think they do a great job of building a platform, a suppressed platform, not a rifle and then just throwing a can on the deal. The fact that this one can just jump right on to completely different manufacturer's rifle and it pair up that well and be very well gassed just out of the jump. Watching that video, I was like, oh no, the comments are it's gonna be a fight in here.
We're not doing low light shots again, Eric.
Right.
I did not expect that to have that the side effect. I'm sorry about that, but
No, all good.
it's a phenomenal.
We were out in Texas doing a range demo and I had a Colt IAR and I dumped a 60 round Surefire mag and it's like below freezing temperatures and like you can see everybody's breath and it's like you just see the steam coming off the rifle and everybody's like, oh, that's gassy. I'm like, no, God, you're killing me, guys. The whole company mindset with Exigent is like, just go shoot the damn thing. Like,
Just go shoot the damn
quit
thing.
making it more complicated than what it is. It's a piece of metal on the end of a rifle that makes a big boom go little boom. So go out and have fun with it. It doesn't need to be the most technical thing. And if it does the job that you want it to do and it's the price point you want it to do, man, have fun with it. But kind of talking to that point about being able to have low back pressure on the can and, forward gas mitigation attenuation or whatever we're calling it, B&T, dialed that in years ago. So like the Print XH, great can. Yeah. And
Yeah,
talk
I was
about
going to say,
that,
just
so.
even speaking to some of the things you were saying earlier when it comes to our relationships and who we like to work with, anybody that's moving the needle or kind of pushing something in a different direction catches our attention right away, right? So you were a perfect match for us when we discovered your can, had that relationship with you. And for the same reason, this year we came out with our XH suppressor, trying to do things that other people haven't done, move the market in a positive direction for everybody, for our competitors, for the consumer, for everyone. And so what you're looking at there, if you want to hand it to me, you're looking at our 5.56 XH, specifically our SC. So coming into 26, or 25, I should say, This is a hybrid suppressor. So when we say XH, you're looking at the newest Print X design, but the H comes from the hybrid. So what you're getting here is a 100% 3D printed titanium suppressor, but you're getting an Inconel blast baffle as well. So the best of both worlds, right? You're getting the lightweight of titanium, but you're getting the durability of that Inconel where it matters most in that blast baffle. We take that Type 2 anodization and the low flash end cap of stainless steel was our take at trying to offer that best package that kind of checks off all the boxes. A lot of times you hear, and we used to say, there's no free lunch, especially with the suppressor world, where you kind of have to pick what you want your suppressor to be really good at, right? This was our take on trying to break that stereotype and having all the advantages without any of the major glaring disadvantages. So whether you're talking about Exigent or whoever the case is, anybody that is moving the needle in a direction that catches our attention, we're all on board on that, and it's something that we definitely like to support.
A couple of little fingerprints of Exigent's kind of concepts and designs, I think, are making it into some of the iterations of the next generations of B&T scans. You know, the big dog asked me and said, "Hey, are you okay if we use like kind of this feature on a few things?" I was like, "Bro, I can't stop you. Thank you for asking," like as if my opinion mattered. Go to town, man. If we can help evolve the market and y'all can continue to iterate and make new cool stuff, competition drives everything forward. It makes
100%.
everybody have a better product. You know, case in point, removable end cap. Where's your most likely place to get a baffle strike or strike? Right there on the end cap. Well, you take this out and you look on the interior of it, and I can't get this thing out because it's in there tight, but the flash hider, the way they've got it configured, I was asking about it. I was like, "Hey, why is it done this way? What's going on here?" They're like, "Oh, we figured out this is a better way to reduce flash, especially running on these kind of ranges." I'm like, "Man, I never would have thought about that. That makes perfect sense now, the way you've got the gas system running in here and working into the end cap chamber. Damn, that's a great idea. Like, I wish I had thought of that."
Right, especially with a titanium suppressor, right? Notoriously going to be sparkier than Inconel. Everyone knows that. But when you're looking at some of those features there, whether it is that stainless steel end cap that's meant for the low flash, the Inconel blast baffle, the Type 2 anodization, not just for the nice finish of it, but it has a functional value of reducing flash, reducing spark. So trying to take some of those features and work on things that we know are disadvantages or perceived cons of a tie suppressor is that package you're looking at there. And then obviously you can get that in the full size as well. You're holding the SC.
I'd always thought for the longest time that these were just raw. Like, I never realized that there was anodization to that.
Yeah.
So, you know, Big Dog and I were talking about that, and I was like, "Hey, you know, what's the anodization? What's, you know, how's this hold up?" It's like, "Oh, that's a coating to help prevent the titanium sparking from the internal erosion." You know, obviously Tie has a lower operating temp than, say, Inconel or Haynes 282. You know, at 800 degrees, that's where you look at most Tie cans on the market, and they're just spitting sparklers out the front. Well, you're not getting that with this can. You know, you're able to have a protective layer for the first several rounds, that then you get your carbon build up, and then you get a protective layer around it. So the amount of thought process that went into this, and I was jokingly telling y'all before, you know, we got on camera, you know, this is like handing a 16-year-old BMW M3. You're not appreciating what all went into this thing. Getting to see behind the curtain all the design and the technology and the engineerings that going into B&T's cans. You know, y'all sent me some APC 9s. I'm like, dude, this is a freaking Rolex of a subgun. This is not the Uzi that I welded back together. Like,
Right.
Holy crap, like this thing just runs, and it runs well.
I tell the story as often as I can because people love hearing it. In case anybody hasn't, the B&T engineering schedule. A couple people have told me about the kind of dual engineering schedule you guys have with Switzerland and over here, and how it's pretty much nonstop innovation.
Yeah. I mean, that's who we are as a foundation, right? I mean, for the same reason that we got into 3D printing, and, you know, sometimes we can catch a little slack, at least on the customer service side of like, I, you know, just saved up and I just bought this and now there's a better version of this coming on out next month. I guess that would be the con of it, but the pro of it is that we're always pushing the envelope. So we don't really fall stagnant of this is a fantastic platform or suppressor and hanging our hat on that and moving on to something different. We're always trying to squeeze out more performance, always trying to go ahead and see how to make that thing that everyone puts at an A grade, how do we get that to be an A+? And then once we get there, pushing it even further. So when it comes to innovation and, you know, when you talk about the Fireteam, whatever the case may be, it's not something that we chose to opt into. It really is who we are at the foundation of a company, whether you're talking B&T as a whole.
I was told that like basically the Swiss guys clock out of their shift, and pretty much with the timelines lining up, that's when the American guys are coming into their building, and then as they're leaving, the Swiss guys are coming in, And the way it was described to me, I don't know how accurate it is, but it's basically just a nonstop machine of just.
That explains why I get 3 a.m. texts all the freaking time. I'm like, oh, we're on different schedules. Leave me alone.
Yeah, I was
I'm
gonna
awake
say,
now.
If you're telling me that our guys are supposed to check out, you let them know, because I don't think they do. I get the same text messages. I mean, even here on the U.S. side of things, I mean, it is 24 hours. There's always a new idea. There's always something, getting tweaked. It is a nonstop, and it's fast paced, but it's definitely exciting. And to me, especially when I wanted to get into the firearms industry, going back, I wanted to be part of something that really pushes change and pushes performance, not just falling back on it. And I feel like I've definitely ended up in a spot where it is baptism by fire, and it is one of those things where it just never stops, and it is exciting, at least here internally.
And again, all that ties back into, I guess, what we were originally talking about, the fire team, is being able to bring all that together and strap hang from the 900-pound gorilla in the market. Our motto is overbuilt under budget, and we definitely brought that in under budget, by shortening the R&D curve tremendously and being able to bring this iteration.
It makes the salesman job a lot easier too, because you don't have to go through many options anymore. Somebody walks in, I want a 5.56 can.
Right.
I got one.
To that point too, some people have asked, like, well, how's this different than a B&T can? They're different. They're very different use cases, different features, different things that may be important to the consumer, may not be important to the consumer. Obviously this is a hell of a lot lighter than the Fireteam, being that it's the Print XH. So if having the lightest can, some people, like my buddy Milspec Mojo, he's like, I really want the light can. I'm not that interested in the Fireteam. It's Inconel. I want to have the lightest can on the end of my barrel. It's like, dude, right here, boom, you get both the benefits of Inconel durability and tie, different from the Fireteam. And obviously they're able to squeeze a little more performance because you got smaller package. All these like head-to-head comparisons and everything, I'm not a huge fan of them, because you're overlooking so many aspects of different performances. And the American consumer's like, well, is it quiet? Man, the fact that B&T ran, 22,000 rounds through one of these,
Yep.
and then finally just stopped because you realized you were wasting ammo at that point because you couldn't destroy it.
Yeah,
I was like, that's freaking cool.
Whether it's the SOCOM testing or whatever the case may be, I mean, that can has been put through it all, and that was one of the things that we wanted to make sure, introducing a tie can with the Inconel blast baffle and being the first hybrid design, we really wanted to make sure that we got it right before introducing it to the market, and that's why I was excited to see it introduced SHOT Show this year, 25.
Oh, nice. I didn't realize it's been, I thought it had been around for a while as much as it saturated the market. If you were going to pick up a rifle or recommend to somebody, you go with a Mark 1 with a
Oh yeah, if you want the best money you can buy.
5.56.
It's a budget thing. Not everybody wants to spend, $3,500 or whatever it is on a single rifle. If money is no object and you want the best thing that you can buy, I think it's the Mark 1. Can-wise, I think if you want the best 5.56 can you can put on it, my opinion, it's the Fireteam. Having said that, I have the subcompact XH on my personal
I
rifle.
was going to walk you into that one. I was going to goose you, be like, oh, what are you running?
Well, that's what I'm running. But, the check hasn't cleared yet, Evan.
Right, I know.
You got to pay me more to say good things about it.
Come on, chill. I need some credit.
It's so hard to do, anything in the firearms space positive, because, everything strives off of negativity, and you talk shit about a company, and, you get all the views, and you get whatever it might be. You start talking nice, and everybody's just like, oh, you're just saying that because you were paid for it. You're just saying that.
Right.
Let me just enjoy the thing and share my enjoyment of the thing. That one doesn't hurt my ears. This one is super light and very minimal sparking when I'm shooting under nods, and it does the job really well. And I didn't know until you told me that it's indestructible.
I've tried.
Oh, yeah.
They sent me a demo one, and I tried. So
that makes me feel better.
Sorry to send that blown up can, but I couldn't destroy it.
Completely my perspective. You're prioritizing just small package, lighter, best of both worlds. This is an amazing can. It's what I've recommended before. You drove down that first time for the longest time. That one just blew my mind away because of how I could shoot it without ears, which this one, it still muffles it up a little bit. I haven't shot the full size one. I'm sure the full size one stacks a lot better, but the subcompact one, for me, this is like a fighting can. This is like, you don't care about shooting 5.56 without ears because that's stupid.
So you would throw either of these cans on a Mark 1.
Absolutely.
So
it depends on what you prefer. If you ever want to shoot it outdoors without ears, I'm going to say Fireteam. If you don't care about that and you don't want the extra weight and length, you want to keep it as short and light as possible, I think this is the best one on the market. Because I used an all-titanium can before this one, and first time I went to a night shoot, I have to pause between the two rounds I'm firing for my nuts to, adjust.
Right.
Right. Good combo, guys. Let's go shoot.
Let's
You
go
want to go
shoot.
shoot?
Let's do it.
Oh, yeah.